I have to draw 17 faces today. But that's all I'm doing all day is drawing heads. Actually looking forward to this. What's up people, this is Dark Raids. My name is Josh O'Dow and I'm an artist. For the past 10 days I have been participating in a challenge called the 100 Head Challenge, or Med's 100 Head. It's a challenge by Ahmed Aldoori, and it's basically you have to draw 100 heads in 10 days. So ideally 10 heads a day. He has a Pinterest board where he uploaded 100 heads for reference, and you don't have to use them, but I did, because basically the goal of this challenge is to get better at things you're not very good at. If I would have chosen my own references, I would have chosen things I am more excited about. But if you choose to draw the things you like, then you probably choose the things you already know how to draw, because those are the things you enjoy, so you do it more, so you already know how to draw that. On the Pinterest board there were a lot of like, for example, faces of pretty women, and I'm not very good at that. I mean, I see the appeal in pretty women, but I don't really have a lot of interest in drawing them. That's why I decided to use the Pinterest board, and except for 16 drawings, and 6 drawings are not from the Pinterest board that I used to take part in a different challenge, the 6 fan arts challenge. So this is kind of a combination of 2 challenges. The last 10 are also not from the Pinterest board, because I decided to not go from any reference, just from my imagination. I wanted to see what this challenge basically taught me, what it made me better at, how well I could apply what I learned basically in the challenge without any references. Going to this challenge, basically my ideal outcome would have been not necessarily to get better at heads, because I already know how to basically draw heads. Instead, I wanted to improve my style. I wanted to go a little more stylized, not that realistic. But spoiler alert, that didn't really work out. And another thing I wanted to get better at was drawing more quickly, like getting that muscle memory for your hands in, so you can know how to draw things and then you can just place them quickly. You basically just get faster at drawing heads, and that also didn't work out, but I did learn a lot of things from this challenge, and yeah, I'll get more into that. Stay tuned to see what I did learn from this challenge, and yeah, let's just show you what I drew. So I started out, I just kind of went for it, just copied whatever I saw in front of me, and I wasn't consciously trying to stylize it like I said before, but I figured that it would just happen naturally, and in some cases you can see me draw the eyes a little bigger, so I did like try to change it up a little bit, but not all that much. And then on the second day, I tried to do it a lot more consciously, and the first one works out alright. The second one, not so much. Alright, fast forward one day into the future, my plan did not work out. I tried stylizing the first one, worked out a little bit, I guess. I didn't really like the result, but at least it kind of worked, putting more of a style into it than just basically copying what I'm seeing. The second one did not work at all, 0%. I hate the outcome. Also, by the way, I'm like so far behind. I have to draw 17 faces today because I drew 5 the first day and then 8 the second day. That's why I want to go about it differently now. Basically, I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes, maybe 30. We'll see if I can go like lower and lower from there. First of all, so I can get more done. And second of all, to learn how to focus, because if you're forced to draw something fast, you have to focus on like the important stuff. And I hope by that I can move into the direction of stylizing something, because I'm only going to be focusing on the important parts, and maybe moving more into that direction by doing so. Let's see how it works out. Let's get back to it. Yeah, that's right, I forgot to say that. Thanks past me for reminding me. I was really far behind because I was doing my recent YouTube video the same day, and I figured, oh, I know how to draw heads. Like one of those things that, yeah, I know the basic shapes. It's like one of the things that I always draw, so it's one of the things I'm good at, but I was not as quick as I thought I would be, so I only managed to draw 5 that first day, and then 8 the second day because I was busy as well, and then like I kept pushing it into the future more and more, and didn't work out that well. Yeah, I said I was going to set a timer, and I did that, and in the beginning that worked out as well, but not for so long. Like in the beginning, I set the timer to 30 minutes, then 27, then 25, 22, 20, and that worked out well, but then I kept getting distracted and not really looking at the time at all and like going over it, so at some point I just stopped doing that and just like went for it, drew however I wanted to draw. And I watched somebody else do this challenge in a YouTube video, and she said how, like, she was talking about how it takes so much time. If you spend like 15 minutes on one drawing, you take like 2.5 hours a day, and that's so much time. And I'm sitting here like, ooh, okay. I took around 30 minutes for every drawing, so it took more like 5 hours a day. So yeah, good for me on that one. I also think that it was kind of a mistake not to do this traditionally, but to do this on my iPad, because I think most people did it traditionally, like just with a pencil on paper, and on your iPad, like with Procreate, it's like very, very forgiving. Like if you make a mistake, you can just like change it up real quick, fix it, and well, with traditional art, you just have to like kind of accept what you do. I mean, you can erase some stuff, but it's not nearly as forgiving as digital art, and it probably would have been a lot quicker working traditionally. Also because you have that one size and you work in that size, and if you decide to draw something very small on a small scale, and that's the size you draw in, well, on your iPad, you can just zoom in and then it's bigger, and then you have more like space to add details and stuff. And yeah, I probably shouldn't have done it like that. Hi, this is the start of day 6, technically. Right from the beginning, I was stupid enough to put myself like 5 heads behind. At this point, I don't know, I'm just getting kind of sick of it. I know I'm still gonna like learn a lot from it. This is still overall a good thing, but it's just, I don't know, just after 6 days, you begin to just kind of like lose interest in it, and it's like that's all I'm doing all day is drawing heads. I don't even have a good audiobook to listen to. I did fix that. I listened to 2 good audiobooks. Yeah, what you're seeing now is that I also combined 2 challenges, the 100 head challenge, the 6 fan art challenge that started up while I was doing this challenge. And so I drew 6 of my favorite characters, and those are 6 of the heads that I did not take the reference from the Pinterest board. At this point, it was starting to be a lot more fun because there was more variety in there, and not just like pretty women all the time. There were children, old men, like monsters almost and stuff. The reason I was getting so sick of it was because it was just all the time pretty women. And I mean, that's actually a good thing, because that's the thing I'm not able to draw. But the reason I'm not able to draw it is because I just don't have that much fun drawing it. So that's why I don't do it a lot, and that's why I'm not great at it. It wasn't fun in the beginning, but yeah, it grew on me. I learned a lot, and the heads started to get more interesting the further in to the challenge I went. So yeah. What's up? It's day 8. And I'm actually psyched to draw the heads now. I caught up 2 days ago. I drew 15 heads, caught up with, I don't know, the schedule of those 10 days. Yesterday I drew 10 heads pretty quickly, and today I want to keep that up, draw 10 quick heads, and yeah, get over with it. Actually looking forward to this. I'm almost done with it. 3 days left. Alright, let's get into it. At this point, I really started to realize what I did learn. Like I said, I didn't learn what I expected to learn. I didn't get faster at drawing heads as I expected to. I didn't stylize my style more into being like more comic-like, but I did get a lot better at drawing faces. And I know this sounds obvious because this challenge is to make you better at faces, but I didn't actually really do it because of that. I did it more because I wanted to improve my style more, and faces are usually like a thing that I'm good at, like I said, that I'm good enough at, so I didn't feel like I needed to improve it generally. But I did learn a lot of things that I didn't know before. And one thing was definitely drawing old people versus young people. Like there were a lot of older men in this. Like it's just like if you draw something again and again, you build this muscle memory, this visual library in your head, and you just know naturally where these places belong. And one thing for older men that I realized was that they have a lot of like droopy parts, and the proportions are very different. Like if you draw a young child, then they have very small noses, big lips, small ears, big eyes, small eyebrows, or very kind of flat eyebrows. Like the head above the eyeballs doesn't bulge very much, while with older men it's the exact opposite. They have small mouths, small eyes, large noses, large ears, and big foreheads, like those bulges above your eyes. I don't know, maybe they're called brows, but I don't mean just like the hairy part eyebrows, but I mean like literally like the skull above your eyeballs that starts kind of drooping over your eyes, which also makes your eyes seem smaller when you're older. And another thing I learned to draw is women. I think the main part about that I gained from this is that you have to draw women very simply. Like, even if women also have like defining features in their face, they have like cheekbones or like wrinkles next to their eyes, but even if they have that, if it's not really prominent, then you shouldn't draw it, because in art, unless you're drawing like really realistic style or like caricatures, usually it seems a lot more exaggerated in your line art than it does in real life. So if I were to draw those wrinkles and stuff that a woman, I don't know, in her 20s has, then it would seem like she looks a lot older in my art than she actually does. So yeah, it doesn't have to always look realistic, and it shouldn't look realistic, because for some reason art that makes you, at least in my style, that makes those people seem a lot older than they are. So yeah, that wraps it up. So the last 10 drawings you saw me draw were the ones that I said in the beginning. I drew without reference, and I'm really glad with how they turned out. I'm really happy with it. I tried out a bunch of different stuff. I drew an old man, a young child, women, people from different perspectives, different ethnicities, different expressions, and what I'm especially happy with is the elderly women that I drew, because there weren't any elderly women on the Pinterest board. There were only elderly men and younger women. But by building that visual library in my head of those two aspects and putting them together, I was still able to draw this elderly woman. And yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I think that's a really good example for how useful this challenge is. Would I recommend doing this challenge? It helped me a lot. I really got better at drawing women and drawing older people, and build that visual library for me in my head. But on the other hand, I think it's really only focused to heads. So in order to get better at heads, you can do that, but generally to get better at drawing, you'd have to do the same challenge for a lot of different body parts, or I don't know, environments, or vehicles and stuff like that. And I think, frankly, to do that for every single one of those things, it's just too much work, too much time. Maybe what I should have done instead, like I said, I already knew how to draw heads, basically. I should have picked something that I don't really know how to draw and build up an entire new skill set for an entire new thing, instead of kind of, I wouldn't say wasting my time on learning something that I already knew how to do, but I think you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I definitely do not regret doing this. I think this really helps. Yeah, thanks Ahmed Aldoori for that great challenge, and I'm really better at drawing heads now. So yeah, if you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, follow my Instagram at DAOcreates for more art, and yeah, keep posted, turn on post notifications or something, so you can stay up to date with whenever I post something, I release something, and yeah, click whatever's showing up here.